Alhamdulillah, been in Righteous and Rich for about a month, and my revenue was down quite a bit, and it was really, stressful because, of course, at the time that I joined, I wasn't even able to pay my bills. But since joining, Alhamdulillah, got my head back on straight. Alhamdulillah, being around a good environment of good Muslims with a good money mindset and putting money in an Islamic context and bringing them closer with Allah. And so, by Allah's permission, I've been able to produce much better content, get much better at just generating leads, and so my revenue has gone up by 50%, which has got me back in the green with the business and back to where I need to be. So alhamdulillah, appreciate you guys for helping me navigate this competitive market and ultimately get back to where I need to be. And I'm very optimistic that it's not just going to be 50%, soon it's going to be 3x, inshallah, bi'idhnillah. So jazakallah khair. Appreciate you guys and highly recommend the program.
Barakallah fiyak. I love how you just went straight into it. You make it that's awkward for me. MashaAllah, jazakallah khair. May Allah bless you, man. I've lost count of how many people that we've helped to do hijrah, to make over 10K a month, to move to a Muslim country with the permission of Allah Azza wa Jal by helping them build out their businesses. Currently what I do is I take a call every week on Sunday in the Righteous and Rich community where I help people flesh out their offers, answer their calls, give them the motivation and the mentorship that they need. What you're about to see is a video where I literally fleshed out the offers of some of the brothers in our community and helped them with their strategies and the bottlenecks in their business. This was one of my favorite calls because the energy was just so high and the motivation was so palpable. I want you to be able to take the exact same benefit as the brothers in the community had. So without any further ado, let's get it cracking. By the way, in case you're wondering who I am a student of Islamic knowledge. Hence you can see my library behind me. This is what my real passion is at. What I did is I became an entrepreneur to be able to fund my desire and love and passion for seeking knowledge and giving da'wah. And now I help brothers do the exact same thing and sisters as well. So without any further ado, watch this video and I promise if you already have a service-based business and you're thinking, how can I improve the offer? How can I fix my bottlenecks? You're going to find some gems in this video, inshallah ta'ala. Let's go. Yes, sir. Coach Munir, the modern Muslim man. Allahumma barik.
Alhamdulillah. So actually, as you were doing this and you were mapping his course, I went and kind of mapped, my course and broke down everything into kind of like 5 different pillars. And it was kind of cool because it kind of resonated with what you, or I think Abu Bakr was saying about like have one video that's kind of like your whole system, kind of like a webinar, but optimized for YouTube. So I'm going to do one called 5 Steps to Lose Weight and Keep It Off for Life for Busy Muslim Professionals and Entrepreneurs. But then underneath that, in each of those 5 bullet points, there's a bunch, like the idea I had was that I could make a bunch of YouTube videos on each of the specific points, all the nuances of the points, and just really go deep with it. So somebody can kind of binge watch and learn and all that stuff. So I just want to see, like, do you think that might be a good strategy for YouTube or?
So I just want to understand this, yeah? And I'm just going to draw it out just so everyone can see. So bear with me. I know it takes a bit of time for me to draw this out, but I feel like it's worth it in terms of the visual for everyone else. So what you're saying is you want one primary asset on social media, right? One primary asset that basically summarizes your offer, like the key offer, right? Am I correct?
To some extent. Well, it's kind of like, so first on your guys' page, you guys have the YouTube video that's 7 steps to 7 figures, right?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like my version of that, where it's like 5 steps to my result, and maybe I could find like a catchier way of saying it. But yeah, but it's optimized for YouTube. It doesn't just sound like a sales webinar, but it's optimized where it's like, hey, if somebody who has this problem is scrolling through YouTube or watch one of my other videos and then sees it as the next suggested video, they click it and they get value from it, but it also kind of gets them highly interested in tapping the link to, book a call.
Beautiful. So what you're saying is that this is going to be your primary asset on social media, that if they were to watch this, they would get so much value, they would be like, okay, I want to sign up.
And clarity on all the steps, just like your guys' 7 to 7 figures. Yeah, exactly.
And ultimately what you want to do is that all of the other content, you're sending people to here anyway, right?
Yes.
I think that's a fantastic strategy. That's a fantastic strategy. And I'll tell you why. Because number one, as I mentioned to brothers previously, and you're going to hear me say this a lot, there's something called the 7-4-11 rule. Are you guys familiar with that? That Google put out. 7-4-11. Right? So 7-4-11 rule is basically Google done a study with over 1 billion touch points of data, right? What does it take for a person to actually buy? Does it take 7 hours? They have to consume 7 hours of content from you, number one. Number two, it has to be in 4 different places. So YouTube, maybe even retarget them in the email, retarget them via Instagram. And then the third thing is broken up into 11 different occurrences. 7-4-11. So 7 hours in 4 different places, broken up over 11 times. So it can't be 7 hours of just binge watching. It's got to be repetitive, right? And if a person goes through this, then what they've done is that they have become warm enough to purchase from you something that's high ticket, inshallah ta'ala. So the way that I like to use YouTube, right, is that from every YouTube video, you can make 2 calls to action. Every YouTube video, there are 2 CTAs that you can have, right? So the first CTA that I would have in every single video. So if I was to just say this is a YouTube video, right? There will be 2 calls to action from each.
By the way, just wanted to ask why you're doing that. This is recorded and uploaded to the thingy, or?
Yes. Everything's uploaded. Everything's
Mashallah.
uploaded. Everything's uploaded for you guys, inshallah. You might have to give it 24 hours for it to be uploaded. Usually it's faster than that. But just okay. So the first CTA would be CTA 1 is what? The product or the offer, right? The offer. So this could be your coaching service. Is the coaching service correct? I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Yes, coaching.
CTA 2 would be more content. And this is the habit that we need to get into, right? Is that from every single YouTube video, you're sending people either to your offer or you're sending them to your content. So for me, I don't mind if someone doesn't actually click on the link to my website immediately after any video, as long as I can entice them enough to go and watch another video. So the way you need to treat your content on social media is like a lead magnet. Most people place lead magnets behind like some type of wall, right? My advice is put your lead magnets out on YouTube. Every video should be a lead magnet. And by the way, actually, Munir, you do this very well, man. I was actually on a call with Brother Isa earlier today, and I was using you as an example. Your content. I saw it yesterday. You guys should check out his content, mashallah. He's actually putting out mashallah, very good stuff, mashallah. That's the kind of stuff that if you guys put out consistently, you guys will go very far, inshallah. So look, what you want to do is that in that content, you want to solve a problem. What does the lead magnet do? It solves a particular problem, but then it opens up another problem. So usually what people do is they say, hey, here's my 1 hour lead magnet. I've solved one problem for you, but here's another problem that opens up. Buy from me now. Rather, what you should do is, hey, this solves a problem, but it's opened up another problem. Don't worry, you don't have to buy. I've made another video for you. And then do that 3 or 4 times. Get them to consume 1 video, 2nd video, 3rd video, 4th video. So for example, Akhi Salam, you might make a simplified version of your revision module, your revision method, and a simplified version of your routine. And then maybe a bunch of videos on mindset and motivation, right? And maybe and all of this different stuff. And the idea is that, listen, guys, go and watch this as well. So in the middle of the video, an idle point, I'd usually have a call to action to say, hey guys, if you're interested, by the way, I have this coaching call that you can sign up to where I, will go one-on-one with you, and here's a few facts about some of the success I've had with clients. And by the way, let's get back to the discussion. And if they don't purchase from me at that point in time, or they do, but they don't finish the transaction because they get distracted on the website or the price is too much, no worries. When they come back and watch the video at the end, and by the way, if you want to learn more about this one issue here, which I haven't solved in the video, I've made 2-3 videos, or I've made this playlist. And if you can get them to constantly just be consuming content inside your content ecosystem, it's only a matter of time until they buy from you, inshallah. So could I ask you? So just quickly, so what you would probably do is you probably have this one primary asset that you just mentioned, which is like your main video that you're sending them to more often than anything else, right? But every now and again, you might also send them to another video that's not your primary asset, just to not fatigue this call to action here. Because some people would have obviously watched it, right? They want to see something new. So you chop and change. But yeah, you can ask the question, inshallah, how you.
Oh yes, Jazakallah khair. Yeah, I was actually on the whole thing about the example you were giving for the other brother, which was like advertising like a call. Because right now, my main CTA has been coaching, but I have a theory that CTA has become very fatigued because I've been making that CTA every week for the last 6 months on my story. Yeah. And on every single video, I say comment M3 if you want more info on the program. And we still get a lot of comments sometimes, especially if it's like an interesting video. But I've just noticed that the conversion rate has gone down. And it could be the webinar on the actual page. It could be other issues on the page. But I think that people are kind of fatigued on that same offer, which is why I was thinking about two other offers. But the other thing is that there's a lot of other Muslim fitness coaches now versus 2 years ago when I first started the Muslim fitness coaching thing, to where I feel like market trust is lower. And I'll give an example. Like, for instance, when I was considering hiring you guys and signing up for the Righteous and Rich School, I was on the webinar and I almost signed up then, but it was kind of a payment plan thing, but it was also like I've done a lot of business courses, so my level of trust is low. Even though you guys are Muslim brothers, to where you guys are the one person I would
Of course.
trust, I was still like, I'm not sure, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've just been a part of so many business programs that sucked. But when Abu Bakr and you had the calls online, I signed up for the call with Abu Bakr because it was, not too much of an investment, just to kind of test it out, talk about Hijra, your guys' Hijra videos, what, convinced me. Plus your CTA, and that was awesome because I really related with the whole like dilemma, should I put a CTA on this or not? So that really like got me. And then after the call with Abu Bakr, I was like, okay, these guys are legit. Boom, I'm signing up. And it was like, no sales call needed. So I was just thinking that maybe I'm working on my course right now, but I have like such a high standard for what it needs to be that I think it's gonna take me a couple months. But what I was thinking is that maybe having, just like how you have a Calendly available where people can book a call with yourself, but it's $500, something that I feel is worth my time.
Mhm.
That way, like, let's say there's an affluent guy who's considering doing it, but he's like, 3,000, 5,000, that's too much, or I don't want to put that in just yet. But I could do a call with him for $500, and then just doing like a 1 hour value session, helping him with his problems, and then maybe getting people that way. Do you think that might be an easy thing to add or a good idea?
So it's not really a very straightforward answer
Mm.
because yes and no, right? So I would actually go back a couple steps. So what's your niche? It seems like from the type of content that I saw on your YouTube, you're targeting professionals.
Yes, yes. Yeah, professionals in their 30s and 40s, brothers, dads. Typically our top four categories of clients are doctors, entrepreneurs, IT and tech professionals, and lawyers. Although lawyers is kind of the least of those four. So really the first three would be like my top guys. So
Uh,
I'm always thinking, okay, the desk worker who's programming all day, but he
yeah.
makes a lot of money. The business owner who he's got, 12 hours a day of work, the doctor who's seeing patients for 12 hours a day. These guys want somebody very professional,
Yeah.
and that's what I'm trying to do to position myself as different, so that I'm not just, because the mistake I made the last 6 months was I was making too much of the viral kind of goofy fitness content, like what a lot of other these fitness people are
Okay.
doing.
That explains it. Yeah.
So I'm trying to go back to my serious professional roots. And that's why I really like the idea with YouTube, because I could just nerd out for 60 minutes about like all this in-depth science and
Yeah.
motivation for professionals, and then take the clips and put it on social media, where even if it doesn't go as viral, it positions me as different and professional and expert, as opposed to just another goofy viral fitness trainer.
So I think then your issue probably is just volume of
Mm-hmm.
content over a consistent period of time that you need to put out to just reactivate that target market, since it seems like we disconnected from them from a period of time. And
Mm-hmm.
look, truth be told, the fact that you're positioning yourself for that type of customer, I don't think you'll have much competition, inshallah. Most people don't have those type of clients. I don't really see most brothers positioning themselves in towards that. One thing I would do is, you're familiar with content pillars, right?
Possibly. I mean, there's a lot of different frameworks I've studied, but you guys might have a
Right.
different one.
Okay, so content pillars are what are the 3 or 4 or 5 fundamental content topics that you make content about, and what are the pillars of your content, right?
Okay.
And usually what you do is, the primary thing would be the thing that's most closely connected to your offer, which is the health and fitness and nutrition stuff. But then you might also have something else which is connected to it, but not it's not your offer, but it's connected. Like, for example, Brother Salam, what we mentioned is, he could be making content about how to be disciplined and how to have a productivity system that would help people memorize the Quran. Like, subhanAllah, sometimes half the journey for a guy who's memorized the Quran is just discipline, right? It's just discipline. He has teachers, he's got a local masjid where he can go and recite. It's just not having the discipline or not having a schedule. Like, most people will tell you, I don't have the time, right? So maybe one of the things that you need to identify is that, look, what are like 2 or 3 things that your ideal customer really resonates with, and those things are connected towards their fitness journey, right? And sometimes it could be emotional stuff. I think sometimes it could be stuff about family, sometimes it could be stuff about status. So that way you're going to be able to tap into them a little bit more, because remember, B2B, like business to business type of sales, are very logical. Like for you, before you sign up to Righteous and Rich, you've done the maths, you thought about it. This is my investment. okay, here I'm gonna learn X, Y, Z. I just need to ascertain, am I likely to learn what these guys are promising me that I'm gonna learn? It's a very logical thing. B2C is very, very, very emotional, right? Business to consumer is very emotional. So you need to tap into people's emotions. I think, make content about how risky being unhealthy is. I don't know if you've seen this guy. He's got a podcast called Diary of a CEO. Stephen Bartlett. He makes a lot of podcasts. He brings guys on that come and talk about health. And I can't lie, actually, they scare me, man. Sometimes I listen to those podcasts. Like the thumbnail says, you have an 800% chance of dying if you don't fix this. Like, I'm clicking on that thumbnail, right? Straight away. So, anxiety creates action. Anxiety spurs action. So make people scared, right? Make people scared, actually. This business that you've set up, actually, are you going to be able to be around to see the fruits of it if you carry on this way? Your children, are you going to be able to see the fruits of your children in the next few years if you carry on in this way? Talk about one brother, the brother who's my PT, and he just kept it real with me one day. He said to me, Imran, you're in your mid-30s. For you, it's now or never. Your testosterone is never going to be as high ever again. And from now on, it's declining. And, if you don't get in shape now, you'll never have a chance to be the strongest you can possibly be. So he created that FOMO. I was like, oh, snap. Okay, I've got to take this seriously, man. And he keeps reminding me, bro, it's now or never. And this is it, bro. If you don't start now, you're never going to be able to, be anywhere close to what your peak could have been. So, creating content like that. So you've got the scientific stuff, the facts, but also the lifestyle stuff as well. And if you create that type of content, I think you'll be very good on Instagram, also on YouTube as well. That type of stuff. And I would just say it's a volume thing. Now, I have to look at your funnel to see what else can be improved there. Maybe the webinar can be improved there. There's, check out our social media strategy course, the 7-figure social media strategy course. You'll learn a lot of stuff there as well, inshallah ta'ala. But in essence, you want to kind of position yourself as a guide for these Muslim men that are like successful, but they let their health go, right? You want to be that guide for them. So that's your mission. Like, I'm trying to help you see your kids, see your grandkids, or I'm trying to help you with Allah's permission, see the fruits of all of the work that you've done. And then you keep repeating that mission statement. And inshallah, you see a lot of khair. I believe you see a lot of khair, inshallah.
Definitely. And the mission goes like really deep. It's like, hey, let's make a generational impact. Because if you have these genetic predispositions where your dad had like a heart attack, your children have that too. And you need to set the right standard. You need to set the right habits. You need to change that generational curse by the permission of Allah. And I always tell them to like make dua and tahajjud too for their fitness and then to follow through on it, just everything, because the Islamic side is so important here too. And, a lot of these brothers and some of these brothers too, like I've had clients who were telling me, I'm so busy with work, I'm struggling with my prayers. I'm like, we got to get you on your prayers. So like the lifestyle element too, we tie in the Islamic side too. So it's a very big mission. And absolutely, I'm going to start weaving that in. Those are some amazing ideas. So Jazakallah khair, man. I'm excited.
Last question I have for you. On your videos, because they're pretty long, where do you place the call to action on YouTube?
To be honest, usually at the end. I need to get better about putting it in the beginning like you guys do.
I would definitely say in the first 10 minutes. So what I have at the end is go watch another video, because the guy who watched all the way to the end is a really warm lead. So let me just loop him onto something else. But remember, people are dropping out. So you want to position it within the first 10 minutes. Experiment. You obviously don't want to place it randomly. Maybe at like a really key point. Like maybe there's like a point that you're making, which is like really like emotional, scary, and suddenly, guys, sorry to interrupt. Just wanted to say, if you wanted to, I've got, this thing where you can sign up, right? Mm. And look, if the coaching is something that you're struggling to get consistent sales at right now, especially if you need cash flow, I also start a community. Start a school community, make it super cheap. Maybe make the first month super cheap, where the first month it's like, £9 or $9. But then after that, it's like $50, right? And you said that it's going to take you 6 months to get your course ready. Okay, don't stress. You can release something every month. Just in complete transparency, the course that we're putting out right now is not the final version. And as I mentioned on the webinar, we're in a beta stage. So there's a really good book that I really recommend all of you to read. It's a bit of a tough read if we're not familiar with like business books. It's called The Lean Startup. The thesis of the book, in very short, is that start with a minimum viable product and put it out. Put it out and see how the market responds. And yes, it's not going to be the best version of the product, but at the same time, you don't want to spend 6 months building something up that doesn't even sell. Right? So the thing for me is that when I put this content out, I'm starting to see, okay, you know what? Maybe that module could have been improved. Maybe that module is a bit redundant. Maybe, you know what? That module could have been replaced with something else. And I'm tweaking things live as I'm going along. So you can even say, guys, look, this is a beta community. For that reason, I'm doing it for $9. And that keeps people in that mindset of wait, let me share something with you. I'm giving you guys all of my techniques today. Yeah? You see, the community is one of the best ways for you to warm up people for your coaching. Look at this. If you go through our content here, let's just say you're going through this lesson. What's that right here?
It's CTA.
Right? So now you're deep in my funnel and you're paying me $9 a month. When you watch to the end, if you benefited from this and you found value, I'm just going to give you a little reminder at the end of each video, which is, would you like extra support? If so, apply to work with us below. Do you understand? So this is just another way to nurture the lead. And the guys that have paid you, even if they paid you £9, happy. Those guys you'd be surprised. The guy who comes in at $9, he's showed you, I'm ready to pay you. He's activated his wallet towards you. So now you just have to convince him for the rest. So I always have both running at the exact same time.
That's a genius idea, because I have like most of the nutrition stuff ready. So I can even say like, look, this course is one day going to be $100 a month. But right now, since I only have a third of it done, I'm going to give you an even bigger discount. We'll do it for $27 a month. Boom, get these people in. And then eventually I'll up the price and I'll, get it going live. That's super genius.
And offer a 14-day money back guarantee. Make it even easy. We don't make it even easy. Say, guys, try 14-day money back guarantee. And then, that's where you hit on their pain points. You already know this, mashallah, and we'll talk about it in more detail when we come to the funnel optimization course, where we talk about writing copy and pain points. But see the pain points. Okay, look, is this really like is $27? Are you going to turn away something for $27 when it's going to help you improve your health? Like $27 for your health? Like, come on, bro. $27? I wouldn't even say health. $27 to marry your daughter off. You know what I'm saying? Like, because right now, the way you're going, bro, like statistically, someone like you, there's a 30% chance you're not going to be there to marry your daughter off. And if you are there, there's a 90% chance you won't be there to see your kids. You play with the stats. You know what the health and fitness thing, actually? The stats are scary. You just play with the stats. Inshallah, man. Hopefully I answered some of your questions there.
Oh yeah, big time. Inshallah, I'm gonna hit that hard with the content, and then I think once I get flow and there's a lot of people coming in, then it's just a game of optimization to get like the conversions. So Jazakallah khair, it's amazing.
Allah bless you, bro. Barakallah feek. Who's next, man? Just very quickly, in case you're wondering, wait, how can I get this type of access to Brother Imran? I'd like to be able to jump on a call like the rest of these brothers. Well, if so, we've got something called the Righteous and Rich School. That's where I take these calls. And it's not just me, by the way. We've got experts in terms of sales and marketing and social media strategy and funnel optimization and so much other stuff. You can literally jump on a call with the rest of our team in the exact same manner as these brothers right here, solving different areas of your business. We also have loads of training where we give you education on everything from click to close, right? The moment someone clicks on some content that you put out to the point where you close the deal, and then even above and beyond that. And we've got an amazing community of like-minded brothers where you can literally have access to the brothers that you're seeing in this video within the community to give you the support that they need. So just check it out at the link below. With that said, let's get back to the recording. Floor's open to you guys. For you guys now. Alaikum salam.
So my question is specific to the Quran industry. Can you have just a course element with the Quran industry, because generally there always tends to be the coaching element, which is obviously a teacher teaching the Quran. So with my sort of idea, I was thinking of combining the two, have a course element, but also a teacher that is personally assigned to sort of support them. And then on top of that, I was going to have mentorship, which is from me personally. So I have a teacher who would be teaching once a week, for example. I'll have the course as well, specific courses that we have. And then in addition to that, I would be the mentor of that student, maybe give them monthly mentorship, like as a group, monthly group sessions or something like that, or bi-weekly group sessions, where I'd be mentoring them. Does that make sense?
Makes complete sense. Okay, look, you can do. Are you asking for what topic the courses should be? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I'm just sort of thinking like you were saying, like you have course element and the coaching element, but with the Quran industry, like could you just have course, like, because I feel like that's not really sufficient. You need to give them the coaching as well. You need to give them a teacher.
So look, absolutely, but there's so much that people need to learn with regards. So okay, look, here's the thing. The courses are basically information that they need to support them on their journey towards what? Towards ultimately memorizing the Quran, right? So again, if I share my screen, you guys went through the Irresistible Offer course, right? Where I talked and I explained the concept of the roadmap, the customer journey roadmap, right? So if, for example, we wanted to draw a customer journey roadmap, which is us trying to work out what are all the steps that your ideal customer needs to take if they're going to go from not memorizing the Quran, i.e. the point where they start with you, to actually memorizing the Quran. Like, what are literally all of the steps that they would have to take? What would they be? Let me run through this exercise with you, and then inshallah I'm going to answer your questions. It's going to be a bit long-winded, but it's going to be helpful for everyone as well, inshallah. Right? So what are all the steps? Let's just assume this is the final step, which is, what is it? Is it a HIF program?
Yes, mainly HIF. Mainly HIF.
So what's the promise? Is the promise, is the
goal
the whole Quran,
the goal,
half Quran?
No, the goal is we will help you memorize the Quran twice as quick, basically twice as quick, using our methodologies and techniques.
Okay, so memorize the Quran.
Yeah.
Right? Okay. And what's the starting point of your ideal customer right now? Like when they start?
The ideal customer should be able to recite the Quran fluently. Okay, but they're not perfect in their recitation, but they're not complete beginners. We're not teaching them alif ba ta. So they should have a level of fluency, some level of fluency.
Okay, cool. So now my thing is, a person doesn't go from being able to recite the Quran with a degree of fluency to straight having the Quran memorized. There are multiple steps that happen in the journey. There are multiple obstacles that come along the journey. So what are the things that the person would have to do? That, as a matter of fact, you have to do these things in order to memorize the Quran. What would you say? It's not order, we can order it, but what actual physical things you have to do?
So like anything. So like, for example, discipline, like things like that. Would you say like routine discipline?
Yeah, of course. Discipline / schedule, right? / routine.
Yeah. Actually, knowing the methodology of how to memorize the Quran, because a lot of the times students are told, okay, memorize the Quran, but they have no idea, okay, how do I actually memorize? Do I repeat it 5 times, 10 times, 20 times? How do I actually go about it?
Okay, lovely. So knowing how to memorize.
How to memorize, and link to that, I would say how to revise as well, how to do muraja, techniques for muraja as well.
How to revise.
Once you memorize a certain amount of Quran, you need to be able to revise it with a proven technique.
So revision method, okay. I would say memorization method. What else?
I would say mentality and mindset has a massive element, because people give up. They give up quick. So we need to train them on method and just the mentality that you should have, and that will come down to giving them certain bits of knowledge, teaching them the virtues of memorizing the Quran, reminding them about the status of the one who memorizes the Quran, basically getting them to correct their intentions so they're sincere, and they're not making sure that they're not just doing it for fame So basically teaching them the knowledge side of things, the virtues of the one who memorizes Quran, the virtue of the Quran, the intentions you should have, and so on and so forth.
Lovely.
So does that make sense?
Lovely. What else?
I wrote all this down, by the way. I've done this exercise. I'm just trying to think. What else did I write down? I think community element is very important. It links into the motivation. So
Beautiful
we need to
support,
keep
right?
you
It is.
motivated. So motivation, and therefore the solution for motivation is community, having a community of like-minded brothers to support you.
Lovely.
I think mentorship is another one, isn't it? You need to have a mentor. Accountability, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, accountability, yeah. Yeah.
So look, we just built out a phenomenal product with Allah's permission and His tawfiq, right? These are all, by the way, there's more. If you actually put, we did this in a few minutes. Do you understand? So these are all of the things. But by the way, guys, I want you to think about this for everything that you do. Whether, for example, you have, for example, an institute where you're teaching people Arabic, or for example, you're teaching people about health and nutrition, or whether you're teaching people, or for example, like Kareem, mashallah, who's got the AI service, mashallah, tabarakallah. Whatever you're doing with your client, you're taking it from point A. It's not to point B. It's like point Z or Z, right? There's a bunch of stages in between that, and you have to identify exactly what they are. Now, by the way, I'm giving examples of courses, but this could be an agency, and I'll give examples of agency as well, inshallah, if you guys want in a second, inshallah ta'ala, and other things, right? But this is how you create an offer that's different to what everyone else is putting on the table. You're not saying, listen, I'm just going to be a Quran coach. What you're saying is, Akhi, number one, I'm going to give you a system. I'm going to give you a system of how to build a routine. This could be a course. This could literally be like a Quran productivity course, or a Quran, discipline course, or student of knowledge methodology course. A student of knowledge. What's the word? You get my point, right? Like a productivity course.
Productivity, essentially.
Time management course, and all of that, right? Like a whole Quran, a student of Quran productivity system. And there's time management, and there is how to build a routine, and there's how to stay disciplined, the times of the day you should revise, blah, 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 how to build out a schedule, a calendar. And you even use like modern day tips and techniques that we're taught with regards to how to stay on point and not fall off the target, right? You'll find a lot of these things, but I've mentioned them anyway. Then another course is the memorization method. Then another course is the revision method. So you can literally say to your students, listen, students, before we do any of these coaching calls, you need to go through this content. Because, and by the way, this creates for a better quality student. Because as a Quran teacher, you're not going to sit there and go through the whole method of memorization. Your thing is just to give them reminders, just to correct. And even me, for example, when I do my coaching course, I expect the student to have gone through the irresistible offer, build out the offer, jump on the call with me. My job is just to correct. Fix this, fix that, tweak this, tweak that. Right? Right now, I was able to do this with you because you've already done the exercise. You see? So now I can just So that's what you want to do as a coach. He said, you go and watch it on your own. I've built it out for you. Watch the memorization method. That's another course. Watch the revision method. That's another course. Resilient mindset. What is the mindset of a talib ilm, of a student of knowledge? Right? You bring ayat, you bring ahadith, you bring, you even bring some psychology. There's no harm. Then you say, on top of that, we've got a community of students that support each other. And one of the great things, this is something that the scholars actually said. They say, al-ilmu bayna tullab. They said, knowledge is amongst the students. Now they tell you this today, the non-Muslims, they tell you, right? That the benefit comes from the community. Like I just told you about, like the mastermind. Your job is just to facilitate bringing people together that are on the same level and let them bring the benefit out. So, one of the things that even we're going to do in the school community here is I'm going to have sessions where you guys run the session yourself. And you guys critique each other. And you guys give each other feedback. So you can literally say, we've got sessions where students will correct each other's tajweed, right? Or can go back and forth and just do muraja with each other. I know this is one of the things that I used to really struggle with. Is that
That's a good idea.
I'm a person, I need to it's a lot easier for me to read to someone than it is to read to myself. Like when I'm preparing, reading to myself is very hard, right? Mentally, even stay motivated, I get stressed. I start getting skeptical. Wait, did I make a mistake? Did I not? I keep going back to the Mus'haf. Then I'm like, wait, am I getting waswas? Am I not? Oh, wait, am I reciting the speech of Allah wrong? It's stressful. So I used to, we just, every day I had a routine. I got together with some brothers. We just recite to each other. And then we go recite to the Shaykh. So the point here is that you say, look, we've got something like this. Like every day, 9 p.m., you can log on. There'll be a student that will be there to what? Listen to you, to revise you. Now you've given it. Okay, now accountability, that's you, the ustad, right?
Yeah.
And the other mentors that you have. And then you've memorized the Quran. By the way, we didn't even talk about, I mean, you mentioned it, I didn't write it down, motivation. You can have, for example, a series that comes out every month about, like a summary of Imam An-Nawawi's, what's it? Al-Adab fi Hamalat al-Quran, manners of the ones who's memorized the Quran, who's carrying the Quran. You could even get someone to come on, or you could do yourself, like monthly tafsir of small surah of the Quran, small surahs of the Quran, that's motivating them. And there you have it. You have a whole system that you do out. And in there, it's just consistency. And before you know it, they memorize the Quran.
No. Barakallah feek.
And you see how for that, let's just say, for example, the students, even if they don't carry on with you, with the accountability, with the coaching, for whatever reason, they've still got this that they can't run away from. Like think about it, right? Let's just say that there's a particular sheikh that I'm not reading to for any reason, because I've moved or he's busy or whatever reason I don't read to that teacher anymore. All of this other stuff is still crazy valuable. How am I going to run away from this? You see? So that's why if you sell them on the coaching, tell them, look, we've got the community, which has courses. And we didn't even mention the monthly lives from the Ustad and from the mentors and the weekly Q&As and all this, that, and the other, right?
Yes. Yeah.
You do?
No, barakallah feek. That's useful. Yeah, that's very useful. I had something in mind similar to what you're saying, but yeah, now that makes a lot more sense.
Amazing. You know what you can even do if you want to start?
I have more questions, but I want to give other brothers chance, inshallah. I don't want to hug the session.
No worries, inshallah. May Allah bless you, man.
Yeah, barakallah feek. Well, yeah.
Anyone else? What else do you have to improve concentration work sessions? What advice for concentration work sessions? iPhone 163. Allah barik. I'd love if you can add your name there so we can see who you are. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. This is the advice that I have for concentration sessions. Let me show you, yeah? Let me show you my calendar. Let me show you guys my calendar. This is what I do. Right. So, what's going on here? Yeah, I don't know why that took us to April, but all right, look. Let me show you what a clean. What's going on? I don't understand. All right, this is what a normal week looks like. Okay, I said this is a typo. It's just a deep session. All right, in order to concentrate, it's as simple as this, brother. All you need to do is you need to set aside time for deep work. That's it. That's all you have to do, right? We struggle to concentrate and focus because we do not set aside time for what? For uninterrupted work. I'm struggling to focus because I've sat down to do work whilst my phone is with me, where in about half an hour, 45 minutes, I'm going to have to go do something else. Focus requires you to be uninterrupted, right? So what I do is every single day from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m., this is time when no one can talk to me. No one can talk to me. I won't take calls. I won't respond to messages. I won't have any meetings unless it's super urgent. As you can see, my meetings, everything else, I will do that afterwards, right? These are my weekly team meetings, whatnot. Then this will get filled up. So it will get filled up, right? The rest of the stuff. These white spaces will get filled up, inshallah ta'ala. But for me, I like to have every day a minimum of 4 hours. Now, for example, today, in September. Now, for example, this week,
Today's Sunday, right? So back a week previous, as you can see. Okay, cool. No worries. Anyway, you guys get my point, right? That's the simplest hack. The simplest hack to concentrate is to set aside time for deep work. What's the best time you suggest to do my deep work? The time where, okay, so this changes for everyone. So for me, I do it in the morning, right? In the morning, after Fajr, like an hour or two after Fajr, or depending on what time Fajr kicks in your country, it might not be ideal. But for me, the morning is the best. Because it takes a while for everyone else to get active. Like, after Dhuhr time, my phone starts ringing, family commitments, have to do something for the family, take the kid out, so on and so forth, right? So you have to work out what is the time of day where you're going to get the least interruptions. And then that's when you do your deep work time. That's when you schedule in your deep work. Hope that answers your question, Hamid. Yeah? How many deep sessions do you recommend per day? So for me, like it's basically one session, but I might do multiple things in that session. For example, I might work on social media and then I work on the course, or I might work on the VSL or whatever have you. But this is it. Do you understand? This is it. It's just the 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. slot, and I'll fill that up with whatever I have to do. And by the way, in that time, you don't do shallow work. You don't respond to emails. You don't respond to Slack messages. This is the time where you do the stuff that requires focus. Responding to messages and emails and uploading a post and responding to my DMs, that doesn't take time. That doesn't take time, inshallah. Does that make sense? That doesn't take time. What takes time and focus is that stuff where you've got to build something, right? And this is from there's a book by a guy called Cal Newport, Deep Work. He basically came up with this concept of deep work versus shallow work. So hopefully that answers your question. In the school community, is it possible to show certain members of the community only a few modules rather than the whole course? Yes, sir, absolutely. You can unlock modules at certain levels, or you can manually give people access to certain levels. You can set up automations to do that. And if you need, we can help you with the automations as well, inshallah ta'ala. No worries. Ahmed, may Allah bless you. Okay, cool. Ismail, let's go to your question. And inshallah, this will be the last question. We discussed having, wait, let me just answer Salam's quickly because I think it's a short question. We discussed having 2 CTAs, one for high ticket and one for low ticket. How does that work? In essence, what you do is, like, for example, in the description of your YouTube video, you would have in every video both CTAs present there. And sometimes on a YouTube video, remember I said on the YouTube video, you would have 2 CTAs, one that's sending people back to more content, one that's sending people back to an offer. The one that's sending them to an offer, some videos will send them to the low ticket, some videos will send them to the high ticket. But the low ticket and high ticket will both be mentioned in your description always, just in case someone wants to check it, inshallah. And you'll be surprised how many people have heard about your offer and haven't committed, but they're thinking about it. And another video makes them think, you know what, let me go look for it right now. It's my question. What is the best community platform to use for clients that want to remain discreet and hidden, since it's marriage counseling and they don't want anybody to know? So I don't have a lot of experience with, what's it called? It's beginning with D. What's it called? Jubair, what's the other platform called? The other platform for communities.
I think it's called Circle.
No,
Not Circle. It slipped my mind as well. Discord.
Discord. So I believe on Discord it can be anonymous. I think so. Right? What you can also
Yeah, you can be here.
Yeah, what you can also do is maybe you can tell people to create anonymous profiles on school. Yeah, anonymous profiles on school. And I'm not sure if people would have an issue with the fact that it's not anonymous, because they're not talking on the community about their marriage problems, right? Unless you want them to like, be vulnerable and open up yes, and you can say, look, just make it an anonymous profile. Like, for example, Reddit. People come on Reddit and they talk about all sorts of nonsense, and they do it because they're behind like a funny like profile name, right? So you could do it on Discord. I would just say maybe use Discord. But the thing about Discord is that you can't host courses and lives I think you can do lives actually. To be honest, I'm not actually, I don't have much experience with Discord, so you might want to research that. But you can even have a hybrid. You could have the community element, which is on Discord, and then the like the courses and the lives and all of that is on school. Or you could just have it all on school and just say, look, make anonymous profiles. Like you actually tell them that it's a requirement, make an anonymous profile so that you can be vulnerable. And so that you can just, ask and keep it real. Hassan says, would it be possible to share the form you send to clients to filter out those you don't want? I forgot the name of the form, but you said it in the latest module. I was thinking I might get a few people wanting to access my free course, but I want to send them a questionnaire to see who's got the highest chances of success. So are you saying Hassan, could you come on the mic if it's easier? Just because we might be able to get through this a little bit faster.
Hello.
Yes.
Hello. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes, Salaam alaikum, Habibi. So I'm just trying to understand. Are you saying you want a qualification form for your free course? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, you said it in your latest module, but I forgot the name of the form. Basically, what I was thinking was right, because I'm gonna obviously set up the course, but the first module of the course I'm gonna give out for free. That's the reason why I asked if you could actually give those, so they have to unlock the rest of the modules. But I was thinking I might get quite a few people that want to sign up. So what I was thinking was if I could, whenever they, message me wanting access, I could send them a form where they, and to basically filter out those that are not as serious.
Yeah, so you would only need to do that. The whole process of filtering people out is so they don't waste your time on a sales call, right? So they don't waste your time on a sales call.
Yeah.
If it's free, there's no need.
Oh.
The whole point of the free content is to warm them up to actually buy the paid stuff, right? And
Okay.
when I start introducing that form is when there's going to be some element of me speaking on the phone to you. And I just want to qualify, are you a time waster?
Yeah.
Before I speak on the phone, and that's when I'd have a form.
Oh.
And that's usually for things that are more high ticket, which you're obviously going to introduce, inshallah. Like, for example, I assume, Brother Ismail, you have a form like that, right? For your marriage coaching service. You have some type of a qualification process, just so you can know who's qualified and who's not. But when it comes to the course on the 500K sales strategy, we're going to literally give that to you. The template for the form, how to build the form, what software to use, all of that, inshallah, easy. So don't worry about that.
Okay, Jazakallah, thank you.
Jazakallah khair. Allah bless you. Yeah. Khair, my brothers, man. I enjoyed our session today. Hopefully you guys benefited. Inshallah, this is something that we're going to be doing weekly. And look, let me give you guys a little nugget. The more you guys come prepared for these sessions, the more I can give you, right? As you can see, this is an open mic. The first 15, 20 minutes, I might just give you guys a little something just to get the juices flowing. But at the end of the day, you guys go and do your homework. And if every week you make progress, if in the last week you just nudged the progress along slightly, there's not going to be much that you can actually ask me, right? If you say, look, Brother Imran, I did what you said in the last week and now I've done this and it didn't work, why not? Okay, cool. I'll share the screen, open up your page, look at your funnel, examine. We'll do all that stuff. And you can even be speaking about it in the community. I'm active in the community the whole week, right? I'm looking at things and you might even just share the bottlenecks that you're going through prior. I might then look and observe and say, okay, you know what? I'm going to address this in the Sunday call. For example, as you can see, alhamdulillah, currently the community, the numbers is in its infant state, which means you guys get to benefit from this time. And you can literally come here. Like, as Brother Munir mentioned earlier, like a coaching call with me, I charge £400 for that. But here you guys are getting it weekly for free. So please make use of it. Please make use of it. And I'm happy to give it to you. Look, we've gone over by our time 10 minutes, and I do not mind. If you guys had more, I would carry on to get me. Because I genuinely want to see you guys succeed. Right? Our success is mutual. Your success is my success is your success. So it's in my interest to help you as much as possible. So please, I ask you, I urge you, just do the work. Make serious progress from now until next week. Tomorrow, you guys have a call with Brother Ismail. This is going to be very useful for you. Brother Munir, also for you. And Brother Salam, because you guys are already taking sales calls. Brother Aman, who's our head of sales, and the guy's a beast. Wallahi, Allahumma barik. The guy is an absolute beast. Whatever questions you're having, why people are not converting on the sale, why you're having no shows on the call, make objections that you're not able to handle, bring these questions to him tomorrow. Bring these questions to him tomorrow. Like, what are the objections that you're not able to respond to? What are the common excuses you get? Why people don't close? Is the no-show rate high? Why? Bring your Calendly form to him. He will literally investigate it live on the call, right? So come to the sessions prepared. The week after that, I think Brother Mahad, he's got a fulfillment session. Again, I'll show you guys how to prepare for the fulfillment session on Sunday as well, inshallah ta'ala. Then Brother Sufyan, who's our head of social media. Again, the guy's a beast. Allah Mubarak. He joined a company a few months ago, Allah Mubarak. And with Allah's permission, the company had no marketing. This brother, Allah Mubarak, single-handedly, he got them to fully max out this whole summer in terms of the capacity that they have. To the point where, they're fully booked. And through the social media strategy that he set up. And he's also our head of social media. He's going to be coming in, answering your social media questions about Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. We've got all of this for you. Please, just make use of the sessions. That's all I ask. Just make use of the sessions, inshallah. By turning up, and the best way is to turn up with questions based on what you've done in the week prior. Yeah? May Allah bless you, brothers. Khair, inshallah. With that said, I'm going to leave you guys to it. And I'm looking forward to next week, huh? Inshallah.
Inshallah, that was beneficial for you. And if you're thinking, look, this is serious, I want to learn more, I want to learn how to make 10K a month, I made this video on YouTube. You can literally watch it right here on this platform. A 10K a month business. Check it out, inshallah ta'ala, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Assalamu alaikum.